Welcome back to the channel. Today we're with the Jeep Avenger, the all-electric Jeep Avenger, and it is a different one because it is a commercial Jeep Avenger, so a van. Technical term is a CDV, a car-derived van. So the importers here in Ireland, Gowan, have taken this in as a car and then used a converter here in Ireland. So it's not from factory, it is a car-derived van here that's converted in Ireland. So we have a big electric van playlist on the channel if you want to go, if you're interested in getting something like this for your business. But today we're going to be looking at the outside, the inside, and then taking this Jeep Avenger van out for a drive. Let's get started. Coming in 7 different colours. I've always liked the Jeep Avenger and was also European Car of the Year. Now it comes in multi-powertrain options, but obviously on this channel we're only interested in the electric. And it is your typical Jeep grille with the 7 slots along the front, and you know it's the electric one because you'll start to see these blue anodized, if not the green flash on the number plate. I'll show you that later on. Got your Jeep word mark on the front. There is no frunk in underneath that. That's a totally closed off grille. You've got your daytime running lights and your LED reflecting. And here you'll also see, hopefully, is some X camo. And they're calling it because it's the same X that you would have seen on the front of the, or side of the jerry can. You've got some slots here above the license plate and below the license plate for some battery cooling. You've got some nice Easter eggs down here as well. And you'll see a Jeep compass and also the front of the Wrangler on the grille. This one doesn't have the spotlights. So in Ireland, you're getting this after grants and VRT removed and VAT removed at €26,809. So a serious bit of kit for under €27,000 if you're a business. 17-inch wheels, nice big soft sidewalls on it as well. These are on Goodyears today and they're 215 60/17s. And these are painted alloys. Got lots of cladding around the front. You can see some silver cladding down at the bottom there. What do you think? You wouldn't know it was a commercialized vehicle if you weren't eagle-eyed enough to spot the cage in between the 2 seats. And so you've got your Jeep Avenger, but it's got that anodized blue kind of side on it. Hopefully the camera picks that up there. Glass black, adjustable with the built-in wing mirrors. They're not retractable, and it's a single color, not two-tone, matte black B-pillar and a fully enclosed rear window. The doors are still there because it is a car-derived van, so you've got the handles up here. You've got that cladding with the Jeep embossment in there, and so you can access the rear. You can see the built-in bulkhead cages there. Seats have been removed. Some of them still, remnants are still there, so you can see where the hooks are, but they're good tie-off points. But you can hear it's a kind of a metal casing. So good to see it. Charging rear left-hand side, 11 kilowatt on AC, 100 kilowatt on DC. It's a 54 kilowatt hour battery with 50.4 of that usable. So it's the new updated Stellantis size battery, 10 to 80%, about half an hour. So decent charging speed, decent range. Range on this coming in at around about 410. Nothing official because it has been converted. So you're probably going, because the seats have come out, the cage and the box has gone in, you're probably going to get a bit more because I'd say there's less on the seats. You have these X, actually put on the hazard lights so you can see those, what that looks like. It's got that funky drum beat. You can see in the front, they're at the top here. Then at the side, you have it on the wing mirrors. And then at the rear, you'll see that camo X. It's a halogen brake lights. So some places have gone with LED, some places have gone with halogen. Gloss black shark venereal, high level brake lamp, nice window wiper to get it, large Jeep badging, and then you've got that anodized blue E to identify that it is the electric. Some good scuffing plastic reflector, matte grey silver, parking sensors. This one has the reversing camera as well. Now we don't have an official what size is the space. But with seats down in the car version, it's 1,250. That's much lower. So I'd say you're probably talking 15, 1600. So it is a great space. LED light, shopping bag hooks. One thing that's not in the rear is a 12 volt. Push them over there. You have the original car floor, and then it goes down probably 3 inches, 75 centimeters. So there is good space. And then you have this false floor that you can leave upright if you want to get in. And it also still has that parcel shelf. If you are carrying stuff, you can still have it covered in the rear, an element of it covered in the rear from where traditional, and you can see you've got your tire inflation kit, etc. in underneath there. But yeah, practical. I'm not sure there's any other electric van at this price currently in the marketplace. I know Dacia are talking about it with the Spring, but is this the cheapest electric van currently in the Irish market? Jump into the comments and let me know. So you can see that box section there and that safety cage then pulled off. And so this is totally covered over, not operational. And then you've got Avenger on that side door as well. Inside, you have lots of utilitarian plastic and some silver over here, another bit of a silver design here, a small bit of touch or squish there, not much, but there is a bit. It still has the 4 windows, but only the front 2 work. You've got your adjustable door mirrors and the ability to lock the rear windows, not that you'd be doing that. Decent sized glove box. You've got your headlight height adjuster and turning off the internal sensors, and then your hill descent. You've got that 2-tone with the Avenger bit over here, dash, a nice little shelf that I always liked on the original car version. Start, stop, stop button, some physical climate control. So you've got your volume on, off, temperature up, automatic, aircon, which is nice to see, front and rear demister, climate control shortcut, max AC off, and then fan speed. The Stellantis selector, reverse park neutral drive for the Jeep side of things. Start stop button if you haven't covered already. This is your tablet cover, as I like to call it. It's kind of little, yeah. In underneath that, you've got the X camo on the back of it and the X camo down here on the plastic. USB-A power, USB-C data, and a 12 volt. Are they both USB-Cs? They might be both USB-Cs actually. Wireless charging pad with a light indicator, and then a little, you can see that X camo there. You can get decals for the regular passenger car, not that companies would be interested in stuff like that. And this comes off altogether, I believe. Yeah, it just pops out if you don't want it there, but it's nice to have that just for an extra bit of security for keeping stuff hidden away in there. Then you've got your electronic handbrake, your drive mode selector, Eco Normal Sport, and then X camo cup holders and liner down there, and there you can be moved, whether depending on what size of a drinks holder, etc. This is movable, and it also has some storage in underneath, if my exposure can pick it up. Seats are vinyl with the Jeep embossment and grey cloth, something different, and it kind of gradiates down to a darker isofix on the front. And then glove box over here is a half glove box. Up on the roof, not much going on. Bright coloured roof. Head unit has the light for the doors, your SOS button, the ability to open the boot from here. You can press that twice, and then your call button, reading lights. So if I can press that, you can see that that opens up the boot lid. And if I hold it down, it beeps and it closes. Handy to be able to do it all from the driver's seat. Start stop button, 10.5 inch, 10.25 inch, 10.25 inch, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. On here on display you'll see some, can I zoom in? Probably can. Yes, see them gradients down there. There's some nice Easter eggs around the place as well on the Jeep Avenger, like on that dash, but on the windscreen liners you'll see some things there. Anyway, power, eco charge, you can see where what you're doing with regards to whether you're taking power or putting in power. On the other side then we're at 91% with 358 kilometers worth of range. So On the steering wheel, it's kind of a 3-spoke. Let's zoom back out so you can see what I'm talking about. Right hand side is cruise control, etc. Left hand side is audio. Nice Jeep badge and some silver at the bottom. And it is reach and rake. And then head height for me as a driver at 188 centimeters, 6'2", loads. 5 centimeters, 6 centimeters. Nice seating position. Nice drive overall. We've had it for the last week and I've enjoyed it. Jeep Avenger. Is it the cheapest electric van on the market at the moment? And it's not super small. Obviously, it's going up against the likes of more traditional style vans like an e-Berlingo or an e-Partner, etc. Partner Electric, I'm not sure what they're calling it these days. But that's Stellantis. But then the Dacia Spring wouldn't have anywhere near the range. So is it the best bang for buck if you are looking for a small electric van, affordable electric van? It's a 115 kilowatt electric motor, front wheel drive, giving you 156 PS. That's the inside and the outside of the Jeep Avenger van. I also think this might be the first YouTube video about this. Okay, let's take it out for a drive. What's it like driving the Jeep Avenger van? Start stop button, and with the Stellantis stuff there's a real clunk click, so hopefully it picks it up. There's a real clunk click. This one has the boom chi drumstick. Very distinctive. Indicator noise. So keyless entry, keyless start. It's a push button and it says engine start stop on it. We won't mention that. Into drive, 2-stage regenerative braking, and then an automatic handbrake. Sorry, electronic handbrake off. There isn't an automatic handbrake. There isn't one pedal drive either. It's just that 2-stage regen. I'm always a fan of one pedal drive, or at least automatic handbrakes anyway. But we're not getting that here. Yeah, I've done a bit of research since I set up this camera, and I think this is the most affordable electric van in Ireland. And you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with regards to range, space. Plenty of pickup there. So we're going to take it just around here on the country roads of North County Dublin, and then we're going to take it on the M1 southbound. I need to go and do a trip to IKEA, and so perfect run for it. A small bit of road noise, and the fact that it's an open cage bulkhead rather than a closed one, you are getting a bit in the back, but it is nicely dampened because that box is carpeted and the shelf is carpeted as well, so it's not like a big echoey van. So I will give it that. It's not just raw metal panels. Driver assists aren't too crazy. Changing the drive modes: Sport, Normal, Eco and Sand. Actually, Jeep are very proud of their heritage of being an off-roader. Even though this is a front-wheel drive, there is a sand option. I haven't tried it out. Don't know how good or bad it is, but the option is there. It's obviously some difference in the responsiveness of the accelerator. Would be the only thing really could change. It's not changing any suspension settings. Plenty. Efficiency for the last 143 kilometers since I've had it, around 16.9. So not super efficient, but it's definitely, the sub 20 is always good, and the nearer the 15 it gets, the better. I'll convert that to miles per kilowatt hour on screen, and so you'll see that. Wireless Android Auto is lovely as well. Nice to be able to tap into it whenever you want. Seats are comfortable. Don't have blind spot. Not happy about that. Does have a reversing camera. Does have parking sensors. But I'm always a fan of blind spot, so it's not perfect. But for that kind of money, you're getting a very capable small electric van, and it's set up like a car. It is that car drive van, so you're getting that nicer driving position. Yeah, overall it's good. We're nearly on the M1 northbound now, so I don't know how within the dealer network will every Jeep dealer have a van version. Maybe they're floating them around. They are well, obviously I'm recording this in Ireland, so Jeep Ireland are doing this. I don't know whether this is going to be available in other Jeep Avenger markets across Europe. Jeep Avenger, I recently heard on the EV News Daily podcast with Martin, I think the numbers for Jeep Avenger standard across Europe are really big. I think it's a huge proportion of sales for Jeep now in Europe. And we've got other electric versions coming to the market. I would have seen one in CES in Las Vegas. It wasn't the Compass. Jeep, what was it? Maybe it was the electric Compass, but it was an electric larger SUV. And then the Compass was more recently, wasn't able to make that press event a couple of months ago. I was at something else. So coming on to the M1 southbound, we are at a speed limit of 120 kilometers an hour. We are at 100 kilometers an hour. Suspension is probably a bit on the soft side. It's a small bit wobbly. But with a load in the back, if you've got tools, this would be a perfect delivery vehicle. This would be the perfect service vehicle. Like 300 kilometers range. Where are you going in Ireland? That's 115. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of road noise, but once you start packing stuff into the back there, and you could sheet up the cage if you didn't need that visibility out of the rear. The visibility is great because there's no seats in the way, no headrests. Hopefully you've enjoyed that first look around of the Jeep Avenger van. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. As I mentioned already, there is an electric van playlist on there, one of the most comprehensive on YouTube. If you leave a comment, share the video, and remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching.